What's going on, YouTube? This is Blacktop here. Now, I know on this topic I am definitely late to the party, but I just wanted to discuss some of the annoying differences between the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG and the OCG. Now, for those of you who don't know, the OCG is basically like the original Yu-Gi-Oh! It's in Japan. That's where the OCG is, and it gets everything first except for the TCG exclusives. And they even have some cards that we don't have, but I'll talk about that later. And then the TCG is the rest of the world, pretty much. And I think there are a couple of discrepancies here and there, but that's pretty much how it goes. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this was the other day I was watching a video from some YouTuber, I don't remember who it was, and it was about, it was Simo's video, and he went to his card shop or whatever, and somebody had bought the OCG Link Vrains Pack, which is the cause of a lot of controversy here lately in Yu-Gi-Oh! And he opened it, and I just thought, wow, this is a pretty great pack, and we're not getting it. So that kind of made me want to make this video. So let's talk about the Link Vrains Pack. This pack was basically all the new Link monsters coming out that would help all sorts of decks. I know since I play Pendulum Magicians, I was especially excited about Heavy Metal Foes Electromite, which is actually coming in the Extreme Force, I do believe. So we are getting that pretty soon. But some of these cards here are just really good, and we're not getting them. And that is what makes me a little upset. Let me see if I can find Heavy Metal Foes Electromite. It's in here somewhere. Yep, this one right here. This one is really good for Pendulum Magicians and really any Pendulum-based deck. Just requires 2 Pendulum monsters. You can pop a scale, get a draw, and if you know anything about Pendulum Magicians, you'll know that they love getting popped because they float, and they have the Pendulum Graphs, which also float, or which also gain advantage when they float. So that's why I'm a little upset, maybe a lot upset actually, that the TCG is not going to get the Link Vrains Pack. Among other things too. I mean, it's got a bunch of good reprints in here. Like, I'm pretty sure Invocation's in here. Makaba is in here. Let me do a quick Control F. Makaba, yep, Makaba's in here. Raijin, Alistair the Invoker, Invocation. And also their new Link monster, Alistair the Meltdown Invoker, which is not as good as people hoped, but still, a Link monster for the Invoked engine. Pretty cool. But we're not getting the Link Vrains Pack, and among Yu-Gi-Oh players, it's kind of a sore spot for them. And because of this, I just wanted to talk about things that the TCG does that players don't like. So things like this is one of them. If we take a look here, I opened up another tab here, and this is on the Yu-Gi-Oh Wikia page. And if you look at this right here, there are 603 cards that are OCG only, and only 31 that are TCG only. And I reckon if you take a look at the TCG only, I imagine all these cards, like the FAs, they'll definitely get those eventually. Some of these, I don't know if they'll get them. And some of them, like where's it at? Tyler the Great Warrior. This is like an exclusive card. There's only one been made, and it was for a kid with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. He had an illness that he probably wouldn't have survived from. So that's why he's got a Tyler the Great Warrior, which is a custom card that he wanted Konami to make for him. So that's why there's one of that. That's why it's not an OCG card, because there's literally only one copy of it in the world. But if you just look at that, there are, how many did I say, 30-something? 31 TCG only cards. Now look at the OCG only cards. Holy cow. There are so many of them. Some of them, like, well, I mean, of course, now, to be fair, all the stuff that is in their core sets, like, so they've already got the Extreme Force core set, which we'll be getting very soon. So stuff like that, like the 100 or so cards that comes in the core set, they'll have those before we do. And to be fair, also, we also have TCG exclusives, and they don't, but they get them eventually, usually. And that makes me kind of mad that they have all these OCG exclusive cards, and that we're not going to get them. Some of them we might never get. I know one of the other YouTubers that I watch regularly, DC, he's upset that we don't have Fright for Patchwork, and it's been a couple of years since that was released in the OCG, and since he plays Fluffles, he would really appreciate it if the OCG would release it. But that's not all that the TCG does to inhibit to the function of the card game. They also, change the names of cards to censor them for some reason. Like if we look at anything with Des in it. Like Des, isn't Des Wombat a thing? Yeah, Des Wombat. If you look at Des Wombat, this is supposed to be death. I'm fairly certain. They always change this. Even like things simply and stupid, like the Dark Magician. It's supposed to be the Black Magician. Now I don't know why they changed it. I guess we won't look at that, but I don't know why they changed it. But they like to censor stuff like that. Even artworks. If we look at Monster Reborn, which is, I mean, if you don't know what it looks like, well, what's wrong with you? But if you look at it, it's this weird pendant brooch type thing. I don't know what you'd call that. But if you go into the alternate artworks here, here we go. You'll see that in the OCG, it's got this artwork right here, the Ankh. Now, I suppose they censored it in the TCG because this is technically a religious symbol, and the TCG is not too fond with upsetting people's feelings. I guess they think people are special snowflakes. I don't know, not really that, but it's because they pose it more as a children's card game. Now, if you play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, you know that that's not really the case. Most people that play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh are not what you'd call children. Most of them are at least teenagers and adults. And so Konami, I think, or at least the TCG, really missed its mark there. And that's just a couple of the things that the TCG does that players don't like. This Link Vrains Pack is probably one of the most recent sort of lapses in content, and I don't know, just the stuff the OCG releases. It's a shame, really. I was really looking forward to this, not only because of Heavy Metal Foes Electromite, but because of all these reprints here too. Like they got Spellbook of Secrets, Spellbook of the Master in here. They got Spellbook stuff, Madolches, Mermails. Like that would be so cool. I could build a nice Mermail deck, or Noble Knights. They had a couple Noble Knight reprints in here. Even some Burning Abyss stuff, Metal Foes, Cristrons, and which really they're not that hard to come by, but in the Invoke stuff, Invocation, a rare Invocation. Could you imagine that? That would be crazy. That would be crazy, and I would love to have that. But anyway, that's just one of the things I was upset about, especially because of all the good reprints in here. Now, I will say, I don't think that the OCG got our Battles of Legend set. So Battles of Legend, Light's Revenge here. Yeah, I don't think the OCG got this. Yeah, like I said, I don't think they got this one, but this is like a great reprint set. So I will say we do have things like that that we can hold over the OCG, which is good. The TCG does do good in these areas, but I mean, like what they did with the Pendulum Evolution. If you look at that, which is basically where all the Pendulum Magicians came out. This came out as a booster pack, or a booster box, and they made everything holographic. They had like super rares and ultra rares, 2 ultras and 3 supers for every pack, instead of making it a structure deck like they did in the OCG, which of course knocked up the price, and since everything's holographic, it knocked up the prices on singles as well, which is kind of dumb. I think I think the quote here, I don't know who said it, but there's a quote that says, don't assume that what could be explained by stupidity was done by malicious intent, but don't rule out malicious intent. And I'm not saying Konami's or the TCG is malicious. I'm just saying that they just trying to make money. That's ultimately what it comes down to. I think they just try to make money from it. And so they have the advantage of everything in the TCG coming out after the OCG. So like rarity bumps and stuff on cards, they can do that to make prices higher here in the TCG. Which, I mean, it's smart from a business perspective, but it kind of sucks being a player. And so the only thing that we could really do to show Konami that we want something to change is just not buy their product. And we all know that that's not going to happen. Nobody's going to stop going cold turkey on Yu-Gi-Oh!, especially when you have people who play competitively and who are willing to spend the big bucks to get the good cards. I know I just spent good money on a playset of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, and Konami really wants that. They try to get people to buy the packs and stuff, and then they try to boost the aftermarket, not really aftermarket, but the third party market, not the from Konami, but the people selling singles and things like that. They try to boost that market by rarity bumping cards and by doing things like what they did to Pendulum Evolution, and by doing things like what they did to Link Vrains Pack, which, if I didn't say, they're basically just gonna put the new cards, the new Link monsters, in different sets, different core sets. So, like in the next core set, which is Extreme Force, let's take a look here. Excuse me. They're gonna put. Let me see. Do they have a list yet? Yeah. Okay. So we got a bunch of lists here. So let's go to the Link monsters. Ooh, what's the heck? Okay. So yeah. Like, where's some? Come on. Where are we at here? Link monsters. Yeah, there's a lot of them. So really? Oh, I bet. Okay, they probably put them at the end of the set. That would make sense. If they put them at the end of the set, did they put them at the end of the set? Okay, they're not released yet. Okay, well, anyway, this is, I guess, the Japanese list, so it wouldn't be on there anyway. But if we look at the English list, we can see that there's gonna be a couple of rocket monsters. Oh, here we go. Do they have anything? No. Yeah. Oh, and also things like that too. Hey, true name. Yeah, dumb things. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. So here are some of them. Like, they're putting in some of the Link monsters from Link Vrains, like these right here. They're putting those in, and that's what's kind of making players mad, because instead of being, super rares or ultra rares, or I think secret rares, like that you could pull one per pack and you'd be guaranteed one, they're instead making them all probably secret rare or ultra rare or something, and probably running them short too, because they're, from the Link Vrains Pack, and so it's just going to make them that much more expensive. I'm dreading it, but I don't know. I'll probably end up spending money on a Heavy Metal Fizz Electromite anyway, and that'll just be that. But anyway, Konami just does this crap. Of course, it's to make money. It's not necessarily malicious intent, but if they want more people to join the game and they want people to be more satisfied with their work, the TCG would have to alter the way they do things. They would have to release stuff more quickly from the OCG. They would have to stop censoring stuff so much, and realize who their player base and their customer base actually is. And they would have to be able to please more people by not screwing up sets, by not rarity bumping cards to make things ridiculously expensive. And that's about it. They would also have to release some sort of catch-up set, the way to get us on par with the OCG as far as the cards go, with the cards that are exclusive there that we don't have, because that also upsets a lot of people. I know I mentioned, DZ being upset, and all Fluffle players being upset that Frights for Patchwork is not in the TCG. But that's what Konami and the TCG would have to do. Let me know what you guys think. I know you guys are probably upset if you were excited about Link Vrains Pack that we're not getting it, and I know this is a little bit late for that. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like and a comment if you have anything you disagree with or agree with in the video. I don't care. Anyway, this is Blacktop signing out.